for sure. It needs to be first banned by Tempest. If they let Mighty have this, then it is going to be pretty nasty. Mighty will actually possibly give the Zeratul away.
It's going to be, it's red, so Mighty chose the map, so Tempest would want to take Nazeebo for themselves.
It's true, they could potentially do that.
This first pick Nazeebo, we've seen that a couple of times. Not the most common thing, but on Dragonshire maybe. And I think Tyrael and Zeratul, of course, will be the big contest. In
well, yeah, that's going to be the exciting thing is if Nazeebo gets banned, who gets the Zeratul. So it's going to be also a game we see Mighty try to open up the Vala. It's not really SDE's style. He's Tychus and Li Ming almost completely, but we'll see if this Nazeebo ban even happens. They might actually be giving it away. Tempest may prioritize even the Zeratul over the Nazeebo, but I feel like that would be a mistake. So let's see as we go into the draft. Will that be the case? This is Nazeebo's best map currently in the meta. And will it be removed here? Insta highlight, locked in the ban. He is removed. Very well played by Tempest. There's the Zeratul ban, so neither will actually be in play. This means Tempest can take Falstad first pick.
They definitely would love Falstad over Dehaka. They've only played 3 Dehakas on Modern Life only. So Falstad is, of course, a very good choice for Lockdown.
His best hero, historically, he won a championship with Dehaka. So Mighty now looks to respond. I feel like they will have to take the Dehaka, lest they be split pushed to death. Even still, Dehaka is not going to be as good as Falstad in the late game once Epic Mount is available. And we are going late game unless something crazy happens, so Falstad also scales well into the late game, just like Nazeebo. So Tempest has already kind of got everything on lock.
I would like them to actually take away Tyrael and maybe even Rag. I think Tempest has a very high chance of taking Rag on this map also. Even Modern Life or Duck Duck playing on Rag. So sometimes turned around the T5. I remember one of the time Lockdown just coming up around on the fort on the bottom lane and just had that big swing, stunned everyone and turned around the entire game. But instead it's going to be Li Ming and Morian taken for Mighty's side.
Li Ming, interesting that they would prioritize her. Seems like Malfurion has really dropped off in this best of 5. So I just don't want to get choked out of damage, I suppose. And SDE, remember SDE is really kind of a Tychus Li Ming guy, so he's making sure Tempest doesn't steal that away from him. He wants to carry these team fights. See what Tempest does. If they grab the Tyrael here, it would not be out of the question. There's not a boss on this map, which is where he's obviously at his best. He'd be a good solo laner pre-7 before Falstad gets his super strong wave clear. I wouldn't mind to see the Tyrael in this rotation. And otherwise, obviously, Hyde might want to pick up the Kharazim here before it gets banned in the second phase because that already happened to him once. And maybe Hammer. So leaving the tanks. The weakness of drafting like this, though, is they could get zoned out in draft of the Warriors. So Mighty could actually just ban the Tyrael now or ban the ETC, weakening Tempest's potential for those strong Warriors.
I think Tempest sees that Tyrael is an unlikely choice for Mighty because they have not really the best player on Tyrael other than Joker, and Joker has to be on that Muradin soloing in the front line. So knowing that, I don't think Tyrael doesn't come into knowing your opponent. Tempest decided not to pick Tyrael, and they can even draw out the ban card as a Tyrael later
which will give
on.
him the ETC.
Of course, ETC will have that soft counter against Wave of Force already, but by this time there are lots of CC. Even Twilight Dream seems to be a lot of support player has to be just getting that perfect range out of the mosh, but Twilight Dream to actually cancel that mosh.
Well, with Wave of Force already here and Tyrael removed, ETC just doesn't feel like a strong pick here. The ban Cassia, actually, they'll leave Malfurion available. They just want to choke out the damage. That's why they did prioritize the Hammer. They have Falstad, Hammer, the ban onto Cassia, and you know, SDE always plays Tychus and Li Ming, so Magi doesn't really play Tychus that often. So if they wanted to run Tychus here, it's a little bit awkward. There's the Ragnaros coming in with the Malfurion. So I like the way that Tempest is approaching this. They could have removed the Malfurion, but the Cassia feels like a better choice here. As our music will hopefully reset. I feel really lonely when it turns off like this.
I love that Rag pickup. I think Tempest is in a little bit of trouble trying to find the hero for Modern Life. I think they banned Tyrael and took away Rag from Modern Life, and also Zeratul was banned. Now just pushing him off the comfort heroes. As Mighty is looking to close the series out with 3-1.
Yeah, let's... I really just don't think Modern Life's going to be playing like the Dahaka here. I just don't know what he will end up playing. It's not a map for Zarya, not a draft for Zarya. There's the ETC we knew was coming. It is going to be the Dahaka actually. He's going to go into double globals here.
It was a plan B, of course. Definitely not a plan A for Tempest.
Yeah. Plan B is a good way to put it. I want to check actually. Yep. Modern Life has 0 games played of Arthas. So that's another hero that they could have considered, but did not want to run it. They could have also potentially put him on the Anubarak, but just an unlikely. He just doesn't have that much experience on it, so risky. And they are going to go with the Li Ming Tychus. This is a bit awkward, as Magi is now going to have to play a hero he's not as familiar on, but...
But Tychus is a very good tank buster, also takes down that Dragon Knight pretty quickly with that minigun, so absolutely a great pick at the very end.
Yeah, it's going to be a solid pickup, and Tempest has a great draft as well. Honestly, I feel like the big question mark, if there ever was to be one in this draft, will be the Ragnaros. Can they pair those Sulfuras as well in the team fights? That's going to be the big key factor here. Global control, obviously, massively in favor of Tempest as we go into game number 4. Mighty is on match point here for Dragonshire. In blue, Tempest hide on Karazim, Duck Duck on Hammer, Lockdown on Falstad, Sign on ETC, and Modern Life on the Dahaka.
And in red, Team Mighty, Joker on Muradin, Sands on Ragnaros, Magi on Tychus, Nasang on Malfurion, and SDE on Li Ming.
So, Magi's going to have to show his stuff on the Tychus.
That flew all the way in, but it is actually seasoned marksman, as we see it all the time now.
Yeah, sad how things have changed.
It's also because the games have been, in average, a lot longer than before.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why this is going to happen, and I predicted this actually years ago. You can actually go watch. I was on Town Hall where I talked about this, about how basically people will just eventually dodge the Qs as well, and they're just not going to be as good. They're super predictable, and the main damage from Falstad is really from his auto attack. So he's also a global hero that's going to be getting extra soak and things like that, and everyone's eventually just figured out, oh, okay, that is the way, and so it is. And it's going to be power hungry again for Li Ming. That's just the way it is now in terms of talking about meta shifts in talents. It was not the way for a long time.
Now this is a difference in the draft. Now Tempest would want to actually go all the way into the global, and Mighty is looking for a fight as they are going to get a pick on the side.
That was a bait by Mighty. They had the route in place for where he was going to power slide. Didn't actually end up catching that way, but it was the Stormbolt that was the stun to secure the kill afterwards. Mighty knew exactly how that was going to happen before it happened. That was really well played. Another good route here from Nasang, looking for the pick on the Modern Life, actually. Should be able to get away. Actually gets the grab, too. Nasang immediately with the heal. But well played on 2 ganks now for Mighty. Nearly getting the second one there on the Dahaka. I love that rooster mount.
Yeah, the golden rooster is
golden
the way.
Rooster. There's so many good mounts. I'm like, oh, every mount's the best mount.
And even power hungry again. It's really the talent that all the Korean naming goes for right now.
Hyde is actually walking into a danger zone, but Duck Duck and Lockdown do join him here. It's Mighty who actually gets trapped there. Tables were turned in that fight. The hunter became the hunted. We will have a temporary channel here actually on the Dragon, but it is interrupted now as Nasang goes down to take it away.
But with that pickoff especially, and Mighty has to force themselves to rotate, and they are stopping this as you just storm toss right into the lane. Tempest was trying to actually zone out so they don't actually get soak on the mid lane EXP.
So channel now once again for Tempest very briefly. Taken away in the top lane by Ragnaros. Tempest obviously has really good pushing, and they're going to have even better at level 7 once the Boomerang talent is given to Falstad. Comes the bait again, and this time they're going to get the kill onto Sands. Nicely done. Tempest with the bait here. Nasang with a slower rotation up. This is the route onto Modern Life, so he's going to get out just fine. Sign comes over the power slide. Good face melt as well. The second pick, this time on Damagi. Tempest may snowball this game out of control if this keeps happening. Now they have 7s. They're going to have that extra wave clear. So you've got Falstad to push. You've got Dahaka to push. The Global is going to help them hold these shrines so that Dragon Knight comes in already. There's no way that Mighty can get down there to deny after 2 were dead.
Of course, Tempest already at level 7. They have a talent level lead. Knockdown's going to just take care of this fourth wall in the mid lane.
And Magi doing a lot of damage, as you mentioned, to the Dragon Knight.
And even with DTC, Tempest has that rotational power. They're the one actually getting the pick instead of Mighty. And they also have the rotational work, the macro to lead in EXP. They can keep that momentum, have that lead, just eat that, take the Dragon Knight and just push on till the very end. I think that's what they're looking for. And Mighty has to really force the team fight after hitting level 10. Pop that Molten Core onto the forts and try to start the fight by themselves.
Lockdown is really deep in here. Hyde is actually doing some body block, but there's the root. They want this pick. Magi is knocked out of range, but they're going to go in on this. Lockdown survives. SDE's missiles body blocked here by Sign. He's going to get out. Well-coordinated retreat from Tempest. When things went wrong there, they knew just what to do to make sure he could get out.
That was very dangerous on Falstad. Falstad's roll was even cancelled from the grenade.
Sign with a sick power slide out. Even a cleanse going down on the Magi there. Will Modern Life continue to fight? Actually, looks like the answer is yes, but Duck Duck dies off screen there. Nasong will be the next to fall, as this is very messy what we were watching. Everybody was just super low. It's going to be a 2 for 2. Looks like a 3 for 2 with Sign. Should be body blocked here. Down he goes. That was a tough exchange to predict for both teams. I feel like
just all around, not much of a focusing, but attack whoever is closest to you and try to focus.
Yeah, that was not very coordinated on either side. It was just both teams having the confidence that they were actually going to win out the mechanical battle without heroics there, and it was pretty close. But Mighty does get the win in the exchange. Both teams about to hit 10 at almost the exact same time. And the only lead in this game is really for Mighty in terms of structures. Or sorry, excuse me, Tempest in terms of structures. Ooh, there's another coordinated gank. Mighty's focus firing and CC chaining together has been amazing this game in terms of picking. They've been roaming and ganking like madmen. Losing some of the fights, obviously, and getting ganked themselves in the top lane. But overall, like their coordination with the roots, Nasang has been on point. Oh, we're going to see the Mosh come in, though. They want the Solo Man, but it's interrupted by Sulfuris' smash. It's actually a much longer cooldown for the Mosh, so a good trade for Mighty. But holding on to these shrines is so difficult without a global hero. As Hyde is picked off here. Again, another root.
Picked Palm at the last second to not Palm himself. That was close. Because I'm pretty sure he was holding that. Because Mosh with a 7-sided would got a kill onto Tychus for sure. He was holding that just in case, and he couldn't even pump himself. So lots of heroics actually wasted for Hyde there.
Sands gets picked off here in the top lane. Another time he's died now on the Ragnaros. He had trouble with this hero in the solo lane the earlier part of this season. And it looks like at the end, going back to perhaps some bad habits, they were even on EXP, so unnecessary to really greedily soak for that EXP. Gonna be up in 5 though, and there's no objective lost during this time, so could have been worse. Still dead even in EXP, even after his death. Gonna miss that top wave. Really annoying, and actually temporarily Mighty has no control of the Dragon Knight. They're gonna wait for him to come back. They're just gonna delay in mid for the time being. Joker's hyper aggressive today. Look, been working out for him though. Oh, that was a scary moment. Lockdown could have been rooted. They want the gust for this Dragon Knight channel. The grenade interrupts. Now they're back. And Sign is taking a lot of damage. They're going to lose control of this area.
They have no one to go up or down, so they have to have this big rotational.
Yeah, they have to go. They have to commit all the way, which is so annoying to do with 2 globals on both sides.
Because they also they have to have at least one to actually cancel that channeling, or even 2.
Yeah, that was a very, you could just see how much they struggled to retake even one shrine in this situation. Magi is caught here, however. Big silence coming in. They're going to get the counter kill onto Falstad. Well done there. Just baited in a bit too far. Wave of Force here to try to secure the kill. Not going to happen. Mosh is back up now, finally, so that's going to be something they have in terms of fighting. But will Mighty actually secure their first Dragon Knight? They need to clear this mid wave. Li Ming is actually going to go to contest in the bot. I think they might actually get this. Hyde is pushed now with this wave on the defensive. Yeah, Top's going to be taken.
They're looking for it for sure, but there is Sign and Hyde to stop that channeling from happening.
Yeah, but I don't know if they're going to be able to do this for very much longer. Magi's going to go ahead and channel. We're going to see the squat in the top, and they will get it. SD is going to die for the squat in bot, but obviously much worth it, or much more worth it to get the Dragon Knight than to lose the Li Ming. So well played by Mighty. It's such a funny fight here. Probably not going to be in Sansa's favor, but Nawson comes over. It's cheating. It's 2v1 now. Nearly a 3v1. Sign's coming over. With the pickup on the Li Ming, Magi's being very conservative with this Dragon Knight. They're actually getting very little done. Remember, this is going to be a very long game with these drafts. And with Magi, well, Magi is playing the Tychus, but with Falstad on the other side, Magi's not going to scale as well into the late game as the Falstad will with Seasoned Marksman. So something that always needs to be mentioned is that the matchup between Lockdown and Magi in this case is going to go Lockdown's way in the super late game in these fights. He's been losing consistently in the early game because of the cool rooting that we're seeing from Nasong. Very consistent with that so far.
They were waiting for SD to come back, and Sign just turning around, taking some aggro, but with that time, Dragon Knight couldn't really do anything.
Yeah, like got a fort wall, basically. Modern Life's been out soaking in the top lane, so they take an EXP deficit temporarily here. It's going to be tough for Mighty to win these late game team fights. They've been winning the early game, you could argue, and they won that Dragon Knight off good picks, coordinated rotations, and very good routes, but it's not going to win them the later game fights when the scaling starts to be intense, or, you know, it almost feels like it's destined that Tempest will get that amazing late game Dragon Knight, will get the first keep, and then with 2 globals on top of that catapult pressure, it's going to be an issue. So this is something that Mighty needs to avoid. They are going to secure this, actually. Even with 2 globals, the rotation down is slow. Sign is taking way too much damage to the palm, though. Will save him. Joker wanted to come in. There's the smash to get the kill. They lose the cap. But they make this a better trade in terms of kills. Now they can just clear it. See if they can actually get a second pick off here onto Modern Life. They will. Nice ice block by Nasong. Tempest got greedy turning back around on this fight. It's going to cost them double. SD is the only one to fall.
That's a good trade, and Falstad is looking for his life. I don't think he can survive from this. Lockdown actually jukes away for the time being.
No root.
Magi and stands on to chase.
The root was used to try to get Hyde. Another grenade comes in. He should be able to fly now. Yeah. I don't even think he needs to because he has his Gust activated, his Tailwind activated now. Well, that was messy, okay, on all sides there at that fight.
It was close, and also with that Gust, Tempest got the camp. So a little bit more pressure onto the bot lane, which is Malfurion is cleaning up right now.
And Tempest has had total control over the map and the lanes for so long.
But with that teamfight, Mighty forced all of Falstad and Dehaka to use their global to come back. So for now, they will. All they have to do is really come back into the game, really soak up the EXP, try to catch up, which they already have. And Tempest, using all their globals, they need to come back. Now they have all Dehaka and Falstad in position.
So much damage coming out here for Mog, but he has to be aggressively positioned in order to do so. Cleanse is used to stop him from getting picked off there by that root. STE dies 1v1 in the mid lane to Lockdown. Not entirely sure how that happened, but should not have happened.
Even Gust was not used.
Yeah, it was not entirely sure what happened there. We'll never know, but it's a nice moment here for Tempest now that they're up a man. They have the Dragon Knight control, and they're going to go for the Unleash. There's no one on Mighty's side to deny this. Lockdown gets it. No interrupt possible. And just because they have double globals, it's so much easier for them to make a coordinated Dragon Knight like this. Look at the difference with, like, when Tempest gets one kill like this, they get the Dragon Knight instantly. When Mighty gets a kill, it's not even enough, they can't do it. They get 2 kills, it's real hard. So this is why I'm worried for Mighty in this late game that's scaling better for Tempest. You're gonna see Molten Core used. Interrupted, actually. There at the end of the day. Just gonna get this fort. And then look to potentially back off. I don't want to stick around too long here as Molten Core is coming back up. This time he gets it. But they do retreat.
Not enough damage and follow-ups.
Lockdown should be able to barrel roll out. Voids that combo completely. And Modern Life was split pushing the entire time, so they get a 4.5 with this one. And they're closer and closer to 20 now. And the more, if Mighty wants to win this game, it's going to have to be in a much longer game. This game is already going very, very long, right? But it's going to be even longer, so.
I think Mighty needs to, with all the forts, almost, well, the bottom fort is down. Oh, only a bottom fort is down? What is going on? It is already 14 minutes into the game. 18, level 18 is already hitting 19 now. This game is going all over.
I mean, this is going to be a long one, as I was saying earlier. And the forts will be killed eventually by Dehaka. Season markment's done. So he has this big power spike already at the stage, 15 minutes in, and just going to get more and more powerful the longer we go on, every minion kill. So scaling is already going to really start to take effect here, but could be even stronger later on. Joker is really aggressive position. He wants to set up a Stormbolt into a root. Look at that dodge. Really well played. But this is the pressure I'm talking about. Modern Life's going to get this top fort. There's no one here to stop him. Cannot be stopped. Even if Molten Core is off cooldown, which should be soon, it's not going to be able to stop this from happening. And now, actually, Sands is here tangoing with them. Looks like they want to try to get the pick. Will he get out? Lockdown's coming over. The smash is on Lockdown right where he was coming. Hyde is actually going to have to palm. Silence goes off just a second too late, so the palm does occur. And Magi's going to go ahead and ult up here, so they're going to look to get a few more kills with the Odin.
Now that's a reset with that kill. That's a reset onto SDE. They're trying to get a kill onto Modern Life as Modern Life pops onto that.
Yep, adaptation used here. He actually gets back up to full health, but he's still isolated. Actually gets the brush dog away into mid, just barely there in that nick of time. Zion actually dies before his mosh pit can go off there. That could have turned the fight because only Nasong was out of it, but I think he cleansed someone there, and then it was a dead ETC, or he got the last blow himself. Either way, the fight is won by Mighty. But as I mentioned before, it's so difficult for them, even with 2 picks here, to get the Dragon Knight. They should be able to do it, but it's going to be very annoying. So actually, they want to try to get the pick onto Hyde because he's being super aggressive here to deny this channel. Will they even get a Dragon Knight from this? That's the question. They need to send someone mid if they want it. They don't have 20 yet, so 5 seconds is going to be the respawn of Hammer. Modern Life can try to interrupt here. Does not want to overextend, though, or he'll find himself getting picked this time for sure. Brush dog on cooldown.
Does not have adaptation either, so has to palm.
And there's the smash. The smashes from Sands have been brilliant. The smash we saw earlier on Lockdown after the flight, the timing of that smash after the palm, really well done. This should be a Dragon Knight for Mighty, but it's actually almost controlled by Tempest right now. Duck is going to do the sneaky take back. Oh, Nasong is going to bolt. They want this kill. Duck is going to pay for it. And Tempest just can't keep feeding like this right now. Every time they get a respawn and somebody dies, gets picked off.
Now it's different because Mighty was 19 before, but now they are 20. Joker is alone here.
He's just going to squat. Moggy gets the Dragon Knight. No one there to deny. And actually, with Hardened Shield used in the top lane, Joker didn't even die, so just going to come back and rejoin his teammates. So 2 dead. This is a super late game Dragon Knight now. It's not the late game, but it's strong enough to easily knock down this keep wall and start to threaten the keep itself, especially with 2 dead on the side of Tempest. Dahak is not going to be the answer. Lockdown's kicked out here. I think they're definitely going to be able to get this keep.
And Dragon Knight is very healthy still. Joker even pops onto that avatar for to get the multi-core is cancelled by the gust of lockdown at the moment, and high gets pretty low. Man. Are they going for the core? They are
going for the core. They want this best of 5 to end right now. Molten Core is activated. Tempest is going to have to be real careful. The Dragon Knight's already expired. Sign is actually so low, can't really get into the fight here. Core now down to 95%, and the damage has been consistent enough here for Mighty. Big Red Button coming out, and a nice silence here. There's the big swing onto Duck. He survives for the time being, but the core is still taking damage. Chiclef Mighty wants to seal the series, and it looks like they will. Tychus is dead, but even without Moggy, they can finish off the core, and Mighty will take the upset win 3-1 over Tempest in our first matchup of the evening.
Right, Mighty really had the patience to go all the way to level 20. They really had the team comp going, and the global of Tempest was very threatening throughout the game, but at the very end, just all they needed to do was force the Dragon Knight and take the strong win with that Molten Core, have the pokes with the Odin, and there goes the core.